Hey, this is James, the non-professional, back with another episode of Draw, Draw, Draw. And today we're doing Superman. So the position that I put Superman in is a three-quarter turn to the back. It's actually not a very common position that you see in comic books or pinups. And for me, it was a bit of a difficult one. I'd spent the majority of my youth and the majority of my drawing endeavors to drawing the front or the sides of the characters, and I very rarely drew the back. So when I started drawing the back, they would always have this sort of hunchback, because I don't know why. I guess because of the front, I just made an assessment of what the back looked like, and I tried to roll with it. It wasn't until I got an anatomy app and spun it around to the back that I actually got some idea of what the back should look like. So we are in the rough stage, and as you can see, I'm keeping my pencil super loose, just throwing it up on the stage and see what I can come up with. And the good thing about roughs is that you can make as many mistakes as you want. You can make it as rough as you want, and redo things and try new things, and you don't worry so much about the definitive lines. So the back there is, you see on the right shoulder, coming off of the right shoulder just to the left of it, that's your shoulder blade. And you have the same on the other side. Now, when the shoulders are back, for example, if he's spreading his arms wide like he is here, those two shoulder blades are actually going to move closer together, and you're going to get a sort of crease in the back muscle there. Now, all of this is going to be covered up by his cape, as you can see there, flowing over, I guess, his back. But it's important to lay out the anatomy, even if it's going to be covered up, because if you could see around the shoulders and the, I guess, midsection where the waist begins, those things need, the anatomy of the top upper torso area has to be accurate in order for the visible parts to actually look accurate or look believable. So we're beginning in lines, and right now we're locking down those definitive details, and we're keeping our pencils super tight. So I'll be honest with you guys, I never really enjoyed Superman. Not that I have any problem with his character, but I enjoyed the more common man, superheroes that took on extraordinary obstacles with just regular human abilities. Now, granted, they were exceptional in those abilities because they'd honed them over, the years, but they didn't have any superpowers or, unfair advantages to their obstacles. They just overcame them through, their skills and their wit and their discipline. So some examples of that is like Iron Man, who doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a genius engineer. Or Batman, who doesn't have any superpowers. He's just a very ingenious fighter, or he's a very competent, skilled fighter, and he's also a very competent detective, and he uses those things to battle the forces of evil on Earth, whatever, right? Superman doesn't have any weaknesses. He has kryptonite, and kryptonite is a very rare mineral that comes from the planet Krypton. I mean, how do you even get that stuff? So essentially, this one mineral is his only weakness in it, and nothing else can stop him. And I get it. Some people like that. He's supposed to represent, I guess, pure goodness, in every single conceivable way. And I don't know, it's just hard to relate to that as a human being, But anyways, they sort of messed that up in Superman Returns with that Brandon Roth or something like that. I can't remember his name. By the way, when you're drawing Superman's face like I'm doing here, you can't just throw any face on there. You can't, if there's a face that's easy for you to draw, or there's a certain type of face that you like, or you're just in the habit of drawing a particular face, you can't just throw it on Superman in particular, because there's a look about Superman that just sort of defines who he is. If you try to throw any face on Superman, it looks just like some rando dressed up as Superman and not actual Superman himself. He has this sort of look almost like a heroic fireman. Just very solid cheekbones and, not long, but, perfectly, I guess, shaped nose and intense eyes and brow, and of course the curl in front of his hair. There's just, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. There's just a look about him that looks heroic, and you can't, like I said, you can't just draw like, I don't know, just some random face on him and it pass as Superman. Christopher Reeve, who played Superman, did a good job on it. Even Brandon Roche sort of looked really good as Superman. Henry Cavill, he looked okay. I didn't mind him as much. He just I don't know. It just didn't seem to me that he captured that sort of look. If you want to look at what that face, I guess, typically looks, a good example of that face is like, although I think I did a good example here, Michael Turner actually has a really good looking Superman face, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. But anyways, enough about that. Talk too much about that. Anyways, we're in inks now, and this is the final product before it goes to color, so keep your lines super tight. This is it. There's no room for error at this point. Well, I mean, if you have a tablet, you can always go back, but these are the final lines that you're gonna make. That S there, I had to learn over and over, the S on his cape. You actually have to look at logos and just figure out where all the little, the pieces go in there in order to create that S. And it's difficult when the S is sort of bent like over the chest, or the S is creased up in those little creases on his cape. That was a difficult thing to draw. So I went ahead and put some contemporary hair on him as opposed to the typical comb over. Anyway, persistence, patience, perseverance, that's how you're going to mature in any endeavor. Hey guys, if you like my content, please like or comment below. And if you want regular updates, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.